Hi everyone, Agnes here, and I have an interview with someone interesting, and that is in Texas today. Welcome to Stephen. Hello, Stephen.
Hi, how you doing? Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good morning to you over in Texas. I loved an interview that I watched you in, and what I wanted to ask you about is meaningful work, especially the mindset part and the creativity part. So can you give a little bit about what you do, and then we'll talk about the mindset stuff after?
Well, I'm a songwriter, producer, independent filmmaker. I'm an artist. I raise Birmingham roller pigeons for sport and hobby. I got in the music business at 15 years old. I got my first record deal when I was 15 with Atlantic Records. I'm the lead singer of a group called Truth, for the respect of other people, who had a couple major hits like All I Do Is Think of You, Spread My Wings, I'm Not Spooked, That's My Attitude. We had several hits. And from there, I went from being an artist to songwriting. I fell in love with song. I fell in love with the producers creating something from nothing with me and the group. But that was the most intriguing part of my experience. So I wanted to become a producer for sure. And I did. And that's what I do.
So that's your full-time gig?
Well, my full-time gig now, as we speak, is filmmaking, independent film. I have 2 films coming out on Tubi and Comcast, one called Day Ones, starring my oldest son. Well, all my kids are in it. And I have a docuseries, a 5-episode docuseries called Tales of a Boy Band. The story where everybody in the group has an hour documentary within the series to tell their story and what they perceived and what they went through in the group, their experience. So it's pretty cool. I'm excited about that. So yeah, I'm a filmmaker now. I use music in my films. And so.
Wonderful. Yeah. And how great doing that with your kids. It's like you're sharing it as a family as well as the creativity.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it doesn't get better than that, passing that on to them. That's terrific. What do you think has really helped you from a mindset point of view to really help you achieve what you have been for all these years?
Well, I was fortunate enough to come from a mother who, at an early age, instilled in me that I could create anything that I wanted, that I could accomplish anything that I wanted. And trusting that at a young age, I accomplished everything that I wanted. And, when life beats you up a little bit, you can go through things like depression and stuff that make you forget those lessons, So I've come full circle from what I was taught as a child to being reminded that I'm a piece of source in this fleshly body, and that I can create anything just from thought to manifestation. I can create it. And once I reacquired that knowledge, you know how truth does. It takes you through a whole list of what you've gone through in your life to match up so that you can know that it's real. And I realized that I've been manifesting from visualization since I was a kid. So the mindset of knowing what you are in this flesh is the key to the right mindset for me. Because most of us don't know that. Most of us have a God in the sky that we fear, that we're not good enough for, that we don't equal up to. And I'm very happy that I bought out of that at an early age, because the power is definitely from the inside. It's definitely from the inside carries the outside, period. So I don't buy into being inadequate for a certain thing. I realize that I'm the one that's doing the judging. I'm the one that's doing all of the ego work. So you just have to balance that ego. You know, the ego is your enemy. Nobody teaches us that the ego is the devil. Your own personal ego is the devil, and it hates your guts, you know, and the ego always unsafe and insecure, always wants us that way. But no one taught us about the ego. So we got this silent gangster running around inside of us, just ruling everything. We think it's us, not knowing that it's actually a component of this flesh that is against you. You know, so all of those kind of things have really helped save my life and help me appreciate my journey. What I've perceived to be bad, good, you know, any of those things, I recognize that this is a learning game, a learning curve that we're experiencing when we come in this body. We've already put the catalyst that's gonna take us away from knowing we're God. We've already put the catalyst there that are going to remind us again that we're God in the flesh. So knowing that information has really changed everything for me.
Yeah, I do think there's such a collective consciousness of I'm not good enough around the world. And I agree with you. I think it is an inside job. And once you realize that, all of a sudden you go, woohoo, now I know what I'm doing. Now I know what I've got to focus. Now I know I have to unhook, you know, get the fish hook out of the neck and, you know, swim.
Because our parents give us the fish hook.
What's that?
Our parents give us the fish hook. Everybody that we, you know, you get that fish hook, the people you love the most.
That's true.
Beautiful mom gives you the fish hook as well as the lesson, you know, it's something.
Yeah, so true. Now, in terms of, because filmmaking's really visual, and if you're using your music, it's really audio, are you using visualization and music to create? Like, does the ideas come through your uploading to source, or do you get downloads from source about what to do?
Downloads. I get full downloads from source. That relationship with source in the creative area is really strong. So when I'm ready to create, all I have to do is wait and focus on what I want and not get in the way of it happening. And I get full downloads. And most people don't realize that you can get in the way of your wants and desires because of those fish hooks. I call them beliefs. Those fish hooks that are attached to us at a young age. Money's hard to come by. There's lack. There's not enough this. There's not enough that. All of that trains you away from the truth. And in the scripture, there's the truth shall make you free. So the fact that you're fish hooked into all of these lies and untruths, just knowing that you can look around and see nothing but abundance with your own eyes can change that lie. Because if you take a moment and from the sky to looking around at all the trees that you pass during the day, there is no such thing as lack. So if you're existing in a position where you're not fulfilling something or you're not getting what you really desire, again, it's self-work. That means you're not aligned with those things that you want. You want them, but energetically, you're not aligned with it because there's something like you want to be a singer, but you don't know how you're going to do it. Right there, just by you not knowing how, takes you out of alignment with it. Just because you're thinking in your mind, well, dang, I'm from here. I don't have the money to do this. I don't have a manager. All of those don'ts that you list out has just cursed from where you wanted to be. So, you know, for people who don't know, get out of the way. Want and desire. Most people don't realize that there's a feeling attached to what we want. There's a attached to the desires that we have. It's not the new car. It's how you're going to feel driving in it and what it's going to make you feel like. So what we have to realize that feeling is obtainable without the car.
Yes.
That feeling is obtainable right now just by closing your eyes and getting in the car and smelling the leather right in your now.
Yes.
And when you do that, Now we're aligning with the car. Now we're aligning with it because the universe is obliged by the courage to see and feel before manifestation. If you got the guts where the ego would show you you have no money, no potential, no this, no that, you're still sitting there fantasizing about being Marilyn Monroe, you're possibly gonna be Marilyn Monroe because the universe obliges that audacity for you to be wonderful to yourself in your now. You know, and the now is all we have, and the now is what the focus is, and what we want to manifest is based on us feeling it right now, not waiting till you get it. Because if you wait, a lot of times when we wait to get something, it's not enough.
Yeah,
it's something else that is something else because you haven't attached to what it is that you really want. It's that feeling, it's that heaven experience, like an orgasm. It's that one moment of heaven that we're seeking to get back to what we source. We want that heaven experience. So just knowing that there's a feeling behind the desire, all of that helps in the journey, in this journey. You know?
Yeah. Oh, look, you're talking to the converted here.
Hey, where it is. I am off that radar.
Yeah, whether it's London or Texas, it really doesn't matter. So it's so, look, I get excited when I hear this stuff because it really is that simple. It really is. Stop talking about the problem, get your focus on what you want, start marinating and fertilizing yourself, and then, you know, you wait.
Voila.
And that's it.
And so, you know what they lied about us? Not to cut you off, but you know, they lied about hard work.
Yeah.
They lied to us about that. They got people getting up, slaving and going to work for other people and don't have time for their children, don't have time for their health because they're working so hard to be what that's what it's supposed to be. Yeah. And you realize that you're a God having a physical experience that God cannot separate from himself, that you are it. Yeah. The working hard is.
You know what, Stephen? It's funny you mention this because I grew up quite poor I was born in France, but I grew up on Vancouver Island. And my father was a builder and a sculptor. And of course, because it was snowing so much, he was out of work and we were on welfare and all of that. So when I started doing this changing belief stuff, like what you're saying, you get your beliefs from your family. The two main beliefs were you have to work hard for money and creative people don't make money. Those two were the big ones.
And you know what's so sad about that? Creative is source. Yeah. You see how that takes you immediately, that takes you away from your connection to you as a God, because you as a God is a creator. Source is a creative force, period. Yeah. Yeah. So for you to hear that creative people can't, that's a nice journey, you know, to finally learn that's not true. You know, that's like, whoa, you know.
I know. I remember when I was earning 400, because I was, I lived in Australia for 35 years. So I was earning about 400 Australian dollars a week, which is about 300 US. Okay. And I remember thinking, wow. And then I thought, hang on, if I can earn 400 a week, I got to work out how to earn 400 a day. So you kind of start changing your working hard for money and working smarter and being, like you're saying, more open and more of a channel and more creativity is such a thing where you lose track of time. When you're really in it, you don't even know if it's morning, noon, or night, and you don't care. That's in the zone.
That's how you know that. That's how you know that the universal factor is true, because there is the time in the way we look at time is such a lie based on how the universe operates on time. You know, you can have you can be in alignment with the universe young in your age. Everything works out because of where you were at that time, coming from your parents. You go through a divorce, life, and lose that connection with source. to that individual, it feels like there's another time going on and they got to it's so much to get back to and all that. And the same source, the same energetic frequency that launched you initially is still right there this moment with the same power, same potential, same everything, waiting on you to recognize that all you have to do is be on purpose about your thoughts and how you feel, and you can get right back on your own momentum, on your own train that you created as a youngster.
Yeah.
It's your momentum. It's your creation. Everything that we're experiencing, we created on our own. Most people think that victims, most people think that they're a victim of life. I didn't ask to be here. What did I do to deserve this? Not realizing that that's not true. This is your journey. This is your thing. Everything that you're experiencing, you created it from belief that you have, whether you know you have the belief or not. Ignorance is bliss in this game of life. We don't care what you don't know, because we have an ego over there that whatever you don't know, we're going to help you perceive what that is. So if you're not if you're in this journey, not trying to get to knowing, and I don't mean knowing of Western knowledge and all of the things that you're taught, because all of that's opposite too, right?
Yeah.
If you are focused on knowing and remembering what you know, it changes the process of this journey. But unfortunately, the masses will never get to the understanding that they're God having a fleshly experience. And when I say God, I don't mean the religious God.
Yeah.
I don't say that because that's what we connect to, the higher power that we're under. The universal all that is, what I call the universal all is at work nonstop in and outside of us.
Yeah.
Appreciation. I've learned that appreciation or lack thereof is the key or the non-key. Lack of appreciation will lock you out of so many things you desire. And I mean lack of appreciation in your life, like you don't appreciate the apartment you live in because you want a bigger house. You don't appreciate the job you have because you hate it. You don't want to work here. These are all lessons in the love unconditional, which is why we came to gain this expansion, love unconditional. So when you're angry at your apartment, you're not in alignment with your desires. The feeling that's behind the lack of appreciation, the universe shuns that, because the universe is about abundance and appreciation and trust, right? Yeah. So if you're living lack of appreciation in and the ego is going to make you feel validated for not being able to stand this car. This bucket, it barely runs. The ego is going to make you validated in that feeling. You're right. You're correct. It is a bucket. But energetically, you have wants and desires. Energetically, you're not matching with that. Energetically, you're blocking yourself from your connection with source because you're so wound up in lack of appreciation. Yeah. Once you look at that bucket and say, you know what, I'm going to start cleaning. I'm going to vacuum my bucket out. I'm going to wash my tires, I'm going to appreciate my car, and I'm still going to imagine myself in what I want. I'm going to drive around in my big car, smell the leather, but I'm going to love my bucket because it's the reason that I'm getting to and from wherever I need to go. I'm going to appreciate this car. The universe is going to bless you with something that you want. That's just how I've tried it and proved it. Yeah. When I was in my group, we used to rehearse on the street. Yep. And before you know it, I was in front of thousands of people here. And then when rehearsal is over, I kind of come back to this body like being asleep and waking up in the morning. I come out of my visualizations like, whoa. And because I was able to visualize myself like that as a child, before I was out of high school, I had a #1 record on my way to tour, a major tour. So I know what I'm saying is true. I'm a walking piece of experience experience that the inside carries the outside. The way that you think, the way that you believe, most of all, the things that you believe. That's why I'm not into belief, because you can believe any damn thing. You know, if you trust the person enough, you believe whatever they say, and it does not have to be true at all.
Yeah.
So when you're in the belief system, you're gonna battle with manifestation. If your beliefs come from grandmom or come from dad that creative people don't make a lot of money, tough, because dad is my world and he wouldn't tell me anything but the truth.
Yeah.
But he lied to you about so you know.
And then you start making more money than him, and then you're in trouble.
You sell one picture that you drew in the back room that makes more money than 3 days on the job, you know? Hey, that's just how it is.
I was probably lucky my father passed away before I started making more money than he did.
He wouldn't understand it. Like, what? You're not working hard? You're not working 2 jobs?
Yeah.
Belief.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. You know, I had a friend say to me years ago when I was complaining about when I actually did have a job and I worked for other people. You know, she said to me something I'll never forget. She said, stop looking at what you can get from a job and see what you can give to it. I will never forget that, because I thought, wow, I have been in get mode. I actually missed the whole point.
You missed the whole entire point.
Yeah, that was a turning point in my 30s. Yeah, it was a good moment. Never forget it.
Because you know that is a product of the mindset of lack.
It is.
We don't realize that, but that mindset is a mindset that you don't have something, so I got to go and get it.
Yeah.
It's better to go and get it knowing that you already have it. That changes.
Yeah.
It changes the work that you're going to do. If you already know that you have something that's already manifest for you, there's no telling how you'll go about getting it, the steps you take to manifest it, knowing that it's there, knowing that the things that you want already exist. I just have to feel a certain way to align with it. That's good work for me.
Yes.
That's better than going and working at somebody else's job, waiting for them to pay you 7 days after you've put in 7 days work. That's all the bull crap. That's all the pits, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's not enjoying this journey. The entities say, without this flesh, we can't even touch. We don't even have the luxury of doing, you know?
Yeah.
Go your entire journey in this flesh that you chose. And of course, when you make out your life based on what you went through the last time. See, most people don't even know about past life regression and that we come here from other situations. But my simple proof is, have you ever seen a newborn baby dreaming and crying and going through all this while he's asleep? Where did he get that from? Where did he get the experience to dream of something and see something if this is his first time? What is he remembering? What is the subconscious remembering if this is the first time around? It's not. It's really, and there's karmatic values and energies that follow us from life to life. You can figure out this, you can go this whole life trying to figure out why every time I get a boyfriend 6 months later, he's a drug user. This is the 4th or 5th boyfriend that's on drugs, and I don't even like drugs.
Yeah.
I guarantee that in one of your past lives, you were either a super drug user addict, or you had something to do with drugs before. But it's up to the individual to look into those things, you know.
Yes.
Most people, you know, if you're religious, you only live once. You got to get it's crazy the torture that we go through in ignorance, coming here not remembering what you planned for yourself. The entities say that when you look over your life, when you pass out of flesh and return to source, that you look over your life through the eyes and through the people that you affected, not through your own. You experience what other people experience from you. And then that's when you make your new contracts. Oh, I didn't mean to treat Agnes like, I should have never spoke to her like that. I didn't know that was going to cause her to kill herself. So let me fix that.
So when you come back, new contracts that you're ready to make up for because you were deaf, dumb, and blind in the flesh. You didn't remember. And the script, I'm not religious, but the scriptures say that the multitudes will not make it to the understanding that the kingdom of heaven is within you.
Yeah.
The multitudes won't get that. So the multitudes won't understand alignment. That voice that's inside of you telling you what to do, you're only going to think that that's a intuition. Something told me. You're never going to respect it as your higher self, the you that borrowed the body. You're not going to respect it that way because people told you, something told me I shouldn't have went. I knew I shouldn't have went. That's the relationship we're supposed to be working on in this flesh, is that voice that tells you, don't stop at 2 a.m. and get gas, go home.
Yeah.
And it's explain. See, the ego and the mind get together to convince you. The higher self, because it's only going to give you a directive. Don't stop. Make a left. Don't say, get up and make the phone call. Go apply for the position. No explaining.
Yeah.
The ego's gonna, when the higher self tells you to go for the higher position, the ego's gonna kick in and say, do you know how many people apply for that and didn't get it? And the mind is gonna come in and double team and say, yeah, we're comfortable. We pay our bills. Everything's fine. We don't need to be embarrassed because we don't get that position. Too many people tried for that and we didn't get it. All that explaining is the devil.
Yeah.
The higher self told you, go apply.
Yeah. And it's always short, and when it comes from source, I mean, I'm like you, I'm not religious at all. And
yeah, me either.
Fortunately, my parents didn't, that's programming I don't have to undo because they weren't into religion either. But the
voice.
The voice is short, and you kind of go, because it's like little bite size, like a peck from a chicken. It's like,
yeah. But you get the whole message. Duh, 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 duh. But it's so fast and so quick that you're right to having your own choices. The freedom of choice becomes your anchor, because if you do not respect that peck of a chicken, you can go and marry the wrong person. You can go and do the wrong thing. You can get in the car with the wrong people, change your entire life. You lose all of your 20s and all of your 30s because your higher self marry that guy, and you did it anyway because of the people that were watching.
Yeah.
Higher self told you he wasn't the one when he asked you to marry him.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah.
But because wedding plans and all expectations, you go through the motions outside of yourself, and you know that your marriage is not going to be happy because you knew from the beginning he wasn't the one.
Yeah.
Thousands of we do it daily because we have your feelings over my feelings. You love me, you know I love you, you're expecting me to marry you, but I don't love you in that way. So because you expecting that, and I built this expectation up without being true to myself, now I'm at a point where I can't tell you we can't get married. Your mother's waiting, everybody's looking at me, and that's more important than me being honorable to my own higher self.
Yeah, and that costs you years, doesn't it? That kind of thing. Stephen, I was in Sydney, Australia, talking about that chicken peck voice, right? I'm in Sydney, I'm in my car, and I had one of those exasperated moments. Do I go to London? Because there was a guy in London that I liked. Anyway, I said, I'm sick of not knowing. Just give me a clear, totally obvious sign. So I'm sitting at the red light waiting to drive, and I look across, and there's one of those rolling billboards in the bus stop, and it says a taste of London. Now I'm in Sydney. Why it says a taste of London in Sydney, I will never know. Right. And then the billboard, the Kentucky Fried Chicken ad rolls, and then it says good to go. And it's like that thing we're talking about, those short, little, tiny words. There's nothing else to say.
Yes. You either get it or you don't.
Yeah.
Isn't that all? And you see how truth does. You see how truth goes and make you see that it's true. That's what it. Why I love being esoteric life
child, the life of secret self-knowledge has been key for me as an adult.
Yeah.
You know, knowing that my insides carry the out, that our experiences are based on the inside beliefs and thoughts that we have, and that we're supposed to be on purpose the way we think and on purpose the way we feel. I'm not supposed to let you say anything that affects me without me being on purpose with that effect. I'm supposed to be the boss of how I choose to feel about what you say. Because I have to make a choice of how I'm going to let that throw me off of my energetic frequency and my connection with source. Because anytime you come off of your high vibrational frequency, you're disconnected with source, because source is totally high. This is why when your dad's passed, my mom has passed, it's hard for them to communicate with us, because in our feelings of them, we've lost them. They are gone. The belief is that they are gone. They are no longer here, which is a lie.
Yeah.
So talk to dad. Dad is not in the front of our army because we're not talking to dad. We're not telling dad, hey, dad, I need you. Gather all of our aunties, gather everybody around me to be my soul army. I need my ancestors with me. Come on, dad. You know dad loves you. So you don't have to pray to a false God. You can go directly to daddy now, because you know you got somebody there that loves you. You don't have to question it. You know you're not sinner to daddy. You know you're not unworthy to daddy. So you can, dad, I can talk to mom and get a hedge of our ancestors that have transitioned back to source to help us in this life. But they made us mourn. Good morning. They made us mourn and leave in mourning. Mama's gone. She's not here anymore. I lost my mother. And of course, you know that feeling, the ego, knowing that you're ignorant in that, you're going to be depressed for months over dad. You're going to be depressed for 20 years that mama's not here. And it's a lie.
Yeah.
You only lose the physical body, source never.
I love the soul army. That's so cool.
How many ancestors do you have that's transitioned? How many aunties, grandmoms that are there that you know for a fact? It's not a guess. You know for a fact that they're there and they love you.
Yeah.
Pour out some water. Give respect. I want to heal my ancestry line wherever it's lacking. Yeah. We have to, they're waiting on, they need us to do it. But if you don't know that that's your duty and that that's a responsibility, you're going to pass out of it too. And wait for one of your offsprings that's still existing, hoping that they cast some, your way for you to be useful in their life. But because we believe in death, because we believe that they're gone, we miss out on that extra source power and those angels. We miss out on that help and doors being opened. See, I have doors being opened for me now at 52, and I know it's my mother.
Yes.
It's her. For a fact, because I deal with her before she transitioned. I told her, don't get too busy and forget about me. Deal with your, when you get over there, do not forget me. Deal with son. You know, I told her, don't forget me, mama. Deal with me. Help me. Help me.
I love it. So you pre-paved it. You prepared her in advance.
On her deathbed, I said, Mom, do not transition and forget about me and get all happy and get too busy where you forget. You know, she transitioned 6 months. I was down and out, even with knowing what I know. I was under the ground. Yeah. And I was hating myself because I'm an only child. All I had was mom. Yeah. So I was fighting myself. So after 6 months, I said, come on, Steve. You know, when your grandmom passed, you became a superstar. Your mom passed, you should become an astronaut. You know? But it was opposite. You know, it's totally opposite. So I started working. So I finally lifted my head a little and came out of the darkness a little bit. And she visited. And she visited me. She told me she didn't like me crying. She said, I saw you cry. Didn't like it. She said, she kept saying, I got my baby back. I got my baby back. She said just so many times. And she said, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing well. I got your back. She said it over and over. I got your back. I got your back. Don't worry. Keep doing what you're doing. And she allowed me to feel, to counteract the depression of the loss, the feeling of the loss. She filled me with the love that she still had for me out of her flesh. Feel all of how she feel, and it was just amazing. Like, you still love me, you know, you still, you still mess with me, and that saved my life for. It saved my life for me to have that experience with my mom, because when she transitioned, even though I knew what I know, the thought and the belief of the loss was still devastating.
Yeah.
So I had stuff in the truth. I know she's not gone, so let me just deal with that. So, you know, I meditate. If I happen to be meditating in the hours where source and the entities are really active, 2, 3 in the morning, in those twilight hours, I always acknowledge mom and tell her thank you. You know, I just got a film distribution deal. I know it's my mom. I know for a fact that she's like, okay, go ahead and finish your movie, son. I got something for you. You know, I know what she's doing, and the appreciation of it, the knowledge of it in this life, I'm glad that I gained that. So maybe that I have a karmatic experience the next time I come, you know, to do some more gaining, you know.
That's lovely. Getting help and being open, putting your antenna up so you can receive it.
On purpose. On purpose. Yeah.
That's
Dad,
terrific.
Here's my antenna. You know what I'm saying?
The fish hook's out, the antenna's up.
I love fish hooks. I'm telling you, I love that. Because that is so true. Your parents love you endlessly, but if they brought you up in a Christian environment or Catholic environment, there's a lot of unraveling that you have to do in your journey, because their journey is their journey. They did what they thought they were supposed to do for you, but it's up to you to put all of those things on the table and look and see what you need in this journey, and the things that do not align with who you are, don't be afraid to throw them in the trash.
Yeah.
This part, what my dad taught me about working hard, doesn't apply to this life. I'm going to throw that in the trash, but I'm going to keep his work ethic.
Yes. Yes.
Right? But I know that I'm supposed to work, and that's in abundance.
Yes.
Not lack, you know? Yeah. So I wish that the masses of people had the opportunity to get this now and understand how important they are in the journey. We're always looking at our co-workers, our bosses, our husbands, our wife. We look at everybody as having, especially our kids. Don't be a mother and have a child. That child is your idol now.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. You are numero uno, period. Your forgiveness is forgiveness of self first.
Yep.
Your lack of judgment is stop judging you at all costs. Do not give Agnes a hard time, period. She has the right to learn and grow. We're not going to judge her. We're going to learn from each experience so that we can prosper in our journey, period.
Now you are giving Reverend Ike a run for his money today.
That's crazy. I know I talk a lot. I get it from my mom. I'm sorry.
No, it's great. I feel like I'm watching a good TV show. It's brilliant. It's just, this stuff is just, it's an unquenchable thirst, isn't it?
Yes. It totally.
Yeah.
Because, like you said,
I'm in my 50s too, Stephen. So it's like,
it's our time. We thought it was in our 20s. No, right now, see, we're supposed to be taking care of ourselves physically where we can last in this wisdom, you know, but this is the crossroads and the wisdom times for us at our age, where this conversation that we're having is designed before we even got here.
Yeah.
For us to remind each other that we're God in the flesh, having a physical experience. We can manifest anything from thought to physical manifestation. This was a reminder today outside of the, and whoever's going to see this, it's going to be the same for them. Wow. You know?
Yeah.
And like I said, with the free will though, you have an opportunity to receive it or turn off of it.
Yeah.
He's not music, let me turn.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, let me ask you, because this really interests me. When you, in the light of what we've talked about, because your creativity is such a huge part of your life, when you go, do you go, okay, I want to make another film, Source, what would you like me to do the film about? Or how do you get the download?
Honestly, in my creative journey, the wheels are turning. So I'm getting downloads that I have to pay attention to.
Okay.
Because I'm not even at the horror movie yet, but I've already got the download to do a horror movie with the kids, my younger kids, and not an adult horror film, but a horror film where kids can watch it and be, terrified, but it's a kid thing. And that's what I'm getting ready to start shooting next week. But I get those downloads creatively. And I'm going to tell you, since I've been a child, 14, 15 years old, when I started to trust Source, not knowing what I was trusting in that way, when I started to trust Source, my relationship just became father, son, brother. So the trust that I have with Source is incomparable. I mean, when it's time for me to do something creative, Source has been waiting on me. You get what I'm trying to say? It's been waiting on me. I don't have to beg. I don't have to tally for any type of download. It's coming.
Okay. How does it come? Is it a sign or a voice or pictures or? It's
a direct picture. And like you said, that peck is so small, but within that peck, you got scenes, you got characters, you got people you need to cast in it,
Yeah.
This person would be great. Within that one peck, you get all of that. Like the movie that I have out right now, Day One's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
I was in the back seat. I like hanging out with my son, my Steve Jr. Him and his best friend, they're just characters to me, right? So I was sitting in the back seat, 2020, and I got a download. You need to do a movie on these dudes, man. And I hadn't shot a film ever. And I was like, these guys need a movie. And I have a movie on Amazon Prime right now called Day Ones, an 8-episode series. Now, this is my first film, so I can imagine people who shoot films as a profession gonna look at it and be like, oh God, why did he do that? But in my journey, I accomplished the download. And that download got me a film distribution deal where now I can grow to be a professional filmmaker and understand lighting and this and that. You know, it's all good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the downloads come in different ways. When it comes to my pigeons, I can be asleep in the middle of the night and get two birds that I need to mate together in my sleep. And I'll get up the next day and be like, ooh, I'm putting him on her. Ooh. Just a straight download.
Yeah.
So my relationship with Source in the creative aspect of what Source is a strong relationship. I know that I can go without having a lot of money and things get tight while I'm planting this seed of Source because I know it's going to provide for me.
Yeah.
And right there is the part of the trust and appreciation I was speaking about earlier. That's so hard for us to obtain because your bills need to be paid. You don't have time to be focusing on trusting nothing but that job.
Yeah.
But see, ego. That's the flesh. And it's so convincing. It's so real. You don't have any money in your pocket. You need to go and get this and go do that. Forget waiting on somebody to buy a painting. You need a job. Ego. When Source says, draw another picture. Yeah. Okay, you're a little hungry. You're hungry right now. Go hungry, but draw another one. Now you got 4. You get what I'm trying to say? See, if you follow Source with the trust of it, which is the hardest thing, that trust is going to pay your bills.
Yes.
That trust is going to pay your bills because the universe has already shown you, you can't go outside right now and count one branch of leaves on one tree. Try it. And call me back and tell me how many leaves you count. Branch. You get it?
Yeah.
And that's my technique of reminding myself that there is no lack. When the ego comes against me and say, oh man, the first thing I do is look up at trees and see how many trees there are. And then if it gets too heavy on me, I'll pick out a branch and see how many leaves I can count. Before I get halfway through, the ego has gone on about its business because it don't have time for truth.
Yeah.
The ego only has time for lies and ignorance. You know,
Stephen, I think you got like a whole t-shirt line. Trust will pay your bill. And I completed the download.
I've had complete downloads about the t-shirts. That's so funny. I just haven't done it yet.
Trust will pay your bills. I think that's the first one. I love that. And I completed the download. It's like when you said that, I could see it on the t-shirt. I thought it's brilliant.
Brilliant. It is, because we as a people have been so fish hooked.
Yeah. That
the fish hook is the God and not the journey. What mama taught you is more of the reality in God than what your actual journey is. You're living your life in a marriage that you're not happy in because you saw your mom stick it out. Your mom's journey had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with your journey. You have the right in your journey to make decisions in spite of expectations, which are a lie. They never taught us expectations was a lie, but you have the right in spite of anybody's expectations out of you to make decisions that honor you while you're on your journey.
Yeah.
You do not put people before you in your journey. You don't put people before you in your journey. You take care of you. You put the oxygen mask on you first so that you can help someone else.
Yeah.
And in our life, we put the kids first. You'll stay in the marriage because you have 2 young kids, not knowing that it's going to be tough for them having a split situation, but they're going to get the best mom possible because she's honored herself. Now she's a real mom and happy as heck. And so stress mom, they're getting half a mom because mom is not happy with this husband. So she can't be all the way happy with him. They're not getting the energetic mom that they're supposed to get. So you're cheating them their entire lives.
Yeah.
And then when they come back and have talks with you as an adult and you see all of the resentment and all of the places that you failed them, and you thought you snuck by and did a good job, you didn't. They knew they have resentments for you for not hugging them enough, for not doing this enough, for not doing this enough. Yeah. It's better to take your kids, break up and talk to them and say, hey, what's going on right here has absolutely nothing to do with you. This is me and Dad's journey. His journey is taking him that way. My journey is taking me and you this way. I'm not going to interrupt your relationship with your father. You can build like you want. Build a match. But my journey is here and we're going to be happy, pleased in our journey. So you have to tell.
Yeah. And that's self-love. That's self-worth. That's self-care. Yes. Yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant.
You are numero uno. When you go to forgive you first. You're not doing anything to someone else by forgiving them or resenting them. You're only causing disease and cancers in your own body with resentment and you have to, if you know that you're a piece of God having a fleshly experience, we will treat ourselves differently. We won't allow people to mistreat us and take abuse in any way because we're having a physical experience. Yeah. But you don't know that. Somebody can take advantage of you. You can cast your good pearls to swine because you had benefit of doubt in this guy and your higher self already told you this guy's grimy. He's a piece of crap. You don't even need to be dealing with him. But that love that you have because your source will say, no, he deserves somebody to love him. Let somebody else play God.
Yeah. I think letting go of rescuing people is one of the greatest things, isn't it?
I can't believe you said that. Listen, in my journey, if I was to look back and judge myself egotistically, that what you just said cost me tremendously. It cost me so much caring about what I lost my 20s, 30s, focused on someone else other than me.
Yeah.
And I paid a significant price. My career paid a significant price for putting myself on the back burner when my mom had launched me first. Came in and put somebody else before me, and their needs and their wants was before mine, not even realizing this person is young and don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
They're creating something in me that they might not even like 10
Yes.
years from now. So you have to focus on you so that you can continue to attract what you are, you know? And we get incited by so-called love. And when I think about my life, the fact that I didn't have a father, I'm gonna show you a lack of appreciation in ignorance, the way we're tricked in this life, right? So I grew up with a mom, no father. My mom does great. I'm just being honest. She kicked my behind when she needed to because she didn't want me to be a follower. She didn't want me to be a soft, weak man. She wanted me to always use my brain and think for myself. So when I needed to get jumped on, she jumped on me. Whatever she felt I needed to save my life, she did it, right? What do? As soon as I come away from home, I'm looking at what I didn't have. I didn't have a father. I don't know how to man acts in this. Everything was what I didn't have. And what did I do? Run out to try to be a father. Instead of looking at all of what my mom did create, look at all of the things she did do that were good and take that into my journey. I go out into the journey. I got to be a father for somebody. I got to be a dad that I never had.
Yes.
There's a reason that my dad wasn't in my journey. There's a reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason. You get what I'm saying? It's by design that he wasn't there. And your mom did a great job. You had a #1 record before you were 19. Never been arrested, never been to jail, never been in the gang, never killed anybody, never, just a good person. And as soon as I get from under her wing, I go and marry a stranger that doesn't even know me, doesn't even know herself. I don't even know myself. And we spend all of these years battered and bruised and emotionally.
Yeah.
And it was not only because of the lack of appreciation of what my mom provided.
Yeah.
Appreciated enough. I was looking at what I didn't. She didn't marry my daddy. She didn't have a relationship with my dad. Let me go and fix that when her journey had nothing to do with my journey. And we're guilty of that in our lives over and over. And I'm glad I discovered it before I passed out of this flesh, because I don't want to take lack of appreciation with me.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to come in another body, and the karmatic value of lack of appreciation is a part of it in a major way, because that's going to take me so far from my relationship with source and ignorance, not knowing anything. You know, I would rather come with a little extra credit in that area, so that as a child, I'm appreciative for my bike. I'm appreciative for my skateboard. You know, I want to come back to that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think relationships are, some people say a mirror, you know, in Australia, we say it's a boomerang, you know? So it's that thing of, if that's in front of me, good or not good, what have I got going on within me that is there? That's the good question.
Universal law says like attracts like.
Yeah, it's that
You wonder
simple.
why you got that crazy boyfriend? Start meditating and find out what it is crazy about you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
One and the same.
So it's that simple and it's that challenging.
Right.
But
I love you. It is so true.
Yeah.
Heck, but it's challenging because we have to get the fish hooks out, and that's hard. It has a little hook at the end that snags. You know, it snags you when you're pulling it, so I can't quite get it all the way out.
Yes.
My mother taught me to stay with my man regardless of what. You can't have something good without going through something. But this is not a good situation at all. Yeah. I don't know if that applies to this, Mom. You know, but, you know, like attracts like. The law of polarity, there's universal laws that are in play at all times, just like gravity. And if all you know about the universal law is up and down, you're cheating yourself out of a relationship with source that can benefit you in major ways, when you know universal law, the law of yin and yang, you know that right on the opposite side of this feeling of destitute and this feeling of lost and not knowing where you're going, you know right on the other side of that is everything you want.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. And Stephen, I think, well, because of the work that I do, I see that most people, men and women, have the belief relationships are hard. So if you're starting with that, and you can change that to relationships are easy and relationships get better and better, and I love how we understand each other, whether it's a romantic relationship or a business relationship. Right. Wow, that changes everything.
It changes everything. And guess what? Just to add to your wealth on that, you being on purpose and focused on the kind of person that you want to be makes that all, you add more oil to it to make it more lubricant to work just fine when you're focused on being the Agnes that wants to attract a certain thing. The mad Agnes, the unhappy Agnes is going to attract that. So let me be high on purpose, not waiting for a check to come in the mail for you to feel good this weekend.
Yes.
The universe doesn't respect that.
No.
When you have no money in your pocket and you can get up and go outside and feel good, look at you around you and say, man, this is a good day, where the worship of the money has diminished.
Yes.
And you feel good knowing that tomorrow is going to be taken care of. You see the birds flying around. They're not worried about anything. They're not doubting the universe at all. A little ant this small has more faith and trust than you.
Yeah.
When you think about that, that's intolerable. There's no way I'm going to let a bird have more faith than me.
Yeah.
I watch birds fly up on my gate. They'll sit there. And, I don't know why they're sitting there, but they're just sitting there, right? Looking around. Before you know it, they jump in the ground, get in the grass, and get what they came for. Yeah. They had no doubt that food was going to be supplied. They had no doubt that their needs was going to be met by the universal all that is. She meets needs, period. You get it?
That's
there
trust.
Is no lack. When you get into that kind of trust, it doesn't matter if a check doesn't make it this week. You're not going to worry about the bills being cut off. You're not going to go into, damn, they finna write me a letter. Oh, you're not going to do any of that because you already are in trust. Yeah. And when you trust, you're going to open the mail and say, damn, Steve, I didn't even know this was coming. I just got, damn, this is from something that I did 2 years ago. How do you remember this?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, while we're talking about this, like we both said, we're not religious, but what are you, in light of what you've just said, what are your thoughts about tithing?
Well, it's universal law. See, the witchcraft, the people who witchcraft us, the people behind the witchcraft are in knowledge. Yeah. It's the that are not in knowledge. The people who put together things like that, they already know that there's a karmatic value that comes with planting seed, reap and harvest. If I give, like the Bible says, when you give with a good heart, because you know that when you give with a good heart, the energy behind the giving is only for you. When I come and I give Agnes $30, that $30 doesn't have to mean anything to her. But in my giving, I'm planting a seed to Steve. So I can't be judgmental, feeling bad that Agnes doesn't have it. I can't give you that money saying, damn, man, I wish your situation was better here. I just want to help you here. That's back on me. Yeah. That energy, that low energy, giving me that money with that low feeling, I just did that to myself. So when I give, I'm going to be saying, I'm just adding to your wealth. You ain't got to say thank you. This $30 ain't shit, but here, this is your, do good with it. And when I get more, I'll help you with more. See, that's different because now you're planting the seed for self. That's going to be a good return. When you see a homeless person and you see a homeless person on the street and you feel bad about their situation, guess what that's called? Judgment. You have just judged that person and forgot that that's an entity having a fleshly experience under the same universal all that is as you are. That person is in no badder shape than you are. That person has chosen an experience. You get it?
Yeah.
So when you go to a homeless person, you just add to their wealth because you know that they're a part of abundance and wealth. So you you give them out of the knowledge that we are both under the universal all that is, and everything is all good. I'm experiencing being a singer. You're experiencing being homeless. Yeah. You could have been a rich jerk in your last life and didn't like it. So now you want to experience the other side to gain more expansion. So taking judgment upon yourself is a bad, bad, bad thing. To look at people and judge people because they don't do what you do, it's bad. Yeah. It's not your business. Keep it that way.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep my opinion on me. Yeah. So that my opinion is good for me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the multitudes of people don't know that. You think you're a good person because you just gave that homeless man $100, but your heart felt bad for that man. There was no God in it when you gave it to him.
Yeah.
You get it? You casted your pearls to swine, meaning yourself, because you didn't even have faith and trust when you gave it.
Yeah.
You gave it from your arrogance point of view that you have it, but you gave it to a person in lack, and there is no lack. Get it?
Beautifully explained. Beautifully explained. That's a big, it's people not what you're doing, it's what's underneath it.
For you.
Yes.
You, not the other person. For you. When you plant that seed, that is your seed coming back for you. Is it a sad seed? Is it a judgmental seed? Come on. What do you want to come back to you? So see, me, Steve, knowing that knowledge, I'm going to always be high. When I hand a homeless man $5 at the stoplight, I don't even say thank you. I'm just adding to your wealth. Yeah. Have a wonderful day. I'm just adding to your wealth. I'm just adding to your wealth. Me saying thank you is me above. Where I'm not above. We're under the same universal force. Yeah. I chose a path and I was able to stick to my path. You chose a path that you're sticking to. No judgment. No judgment. So,
yeah.
I know I talk a lot.
No, it's wonderful. Wow. I can't even believe it's been over an hour. I'm just checking now. That was like
chicken peck.
Yeah, chicken peck. Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you, Steve, for just sharing the contents of your head.
My big head.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Before we go, anything random pops into your head you want to say?
Well, I want to say to everybody, remember that you are the number one focus in your journey. Everybody around you benefits from that. Don't put your children before you. Don't put your husband before you. And in the Christian world, people always say, well, God first. And it's an untruth, because most people who say God first are not living a life where God is first. They're idolizing their jobs, their children, their work, their husband. It's just a lie. But it's a slogan that you can say, and it's good. Sounds good. Sounds like you're smart. But the truth of the matter is take care of you, and everything else be provided for. Trust and appreciation is the key to manifestation in the journey. And remember that you are a piece of source, a piece of God, having a physical experience as who you are, able to manifest anything that you desire from vision and feeling wonderful about it. And also, everybody, make sure you attach to the outcome, attach to the feeling that you want, not the particular. The feeling that's attached to the particular is what you want. So meditate and feel good today. Feel great. Walk through your new house today.
Yeah.
Walk through it, close your eyes, walk through that house, see the big backyard, see the pool, see everything. Walk through it every day, as many times as you can. And before you know it, you're going to be saying, hey, man, I just got this situation. I'm going to move into a new place.
Yeah.
The universe is like a genie for us, but we don't know it. They made us fear God in the wrong way. When he's more here to provide with your alignment. That's the key. He's here. The basket is full. What do you want? But if you don't align with what's in the basket, if you believe that basket somehow has some emptiness in it, if you've been taught that basket, the things in that basket are hard to come by, you're not in relationship with the basket owner. The basket owner wants to give you everything in the basket, but you don't believe in the basket owner. You've been taught that the basket owner has to feel a certain way about you before you get it. It's just a lie. You have to align with the things that you want so that they manifest, and you simply align with the things that you want by gathering your outcome. Get all of what you really want and how you really want it in your life. Get it and gather it. Then go to the feeling that you're going to have from obtaining it. And that once you grab the feeling that's going to come from you being this thing, that feeling you meditate on and bask in right now. It feels good. It feels good. Just bask in it as long as you can in your meditation or your quiet time. Bask in your outcome. Feel good. Once you attach yourself to the feeling, that's when the universe responds, because the universe doesn't know language. It only knows vibrational frequency. So if your frequency is off, you're not fooling the universe. You're just not, you're not getting in the back door. It's just not happening. You might have soul support that help manifest things for you in your lost times, but until you realize the truth that there is no lack and that you are it. Everything comes from the inside to the outside. Until you get that, you're going to have an issue. So I tell everybody, be on purpose about how you think, be on purpose and intentional about how you feel, and make sure that you're on purpose day to day on being high in your frequency, so that the ego can't slowly and make you're unhappy about little things, but you in the most part you feel good, but you got a little issue here, you got a little something here. See, all that's ego. You want to be on purpose with that stuff and let the ego know, I'll use you when I need you. I don't need you right now. Those thoughts of me being molested as a kid, those thoughts of people calling me fat, crooked teeth, I don't need those thoughts, because I'm not fat and crooked teeth anymore. That has nothing to do. I'm sitting here right now and I love me. So where are those thoughts coming from? So can you please take those thoughts away? And we have to deal with our ego like that. People are crazy, but when that ego comes up with something from your past, remembering how poor you were in an incident where you felt kind of without, when that comes back up, you know that the ego is trying to get you vibrationally in a place to stop you from going where you're headed. Just like a roadblock. So even if you turn down this street for 10 minutes, that's 10 minutes you lost on your way to your destination. So you have to remember that. Stay on course, on purpose. And that's what I want to say.
Wow. Okay. You got 3 t-shirts now. Trust will pay your bills. I completed the download, and you're not in alignment with the basket owner. There they are.
You're not in alignment with the basket owner.
Love
you
that
get
one.
it? Oh my God, that's genius. That's so genius.
Well said.
Genius.
Wow.
Wow.
Well said. Fantastic.
Wow.
Well, Steve, can you stay on? We'll say bye in private, and I want to say bye, everybody.
Yes.
Oh God, my eyes. I'm going to take a little while to recover after this one.
I'm sorry. I know, man.
You know, Stephen, you are officially a certified organic nut. You are, that's it. Love it, love it, love it. I had to follow my intuition to contact you. Now I know why.
Wow. See? Universe is...
I will put Stephen's links all down below in the description to anything that he mentioned, and then you can shoot over to Amazon and different places to check him out. And I will see you all in the next YouTube.
Nice. Thank you for having me.
Now work out how to get out of here.